Hey everyone, so is the iPad 9 still worth buying here at near the end of 2024? Black Friday is actually about a week away, not even a week away from making this video. And you can see this is now down to only 200 bucks. They've been down to $200 for quite some time now. They kind of hover between 2 to 250 bucks here in the US, at least in my area. So $200, is this iPad 9 still worth buying? And I would just say yes right away. Yes, it is still worth buying for 200 bucks. $330, not as much. Now, as right now, you can get the iPad 10 for 280 bucks on sale. And I would say if you have the extra 80 bucks, the iPad 10 is going to be worth it, in my opinion. And then also for around the same price range is the Fire Max 11 from Amazon, which is now only 140 bucks, which is a crazy cheap price. Which I would say the iPad 9, iPad 10 are going to be better than the Amazon is going to be. But the Amazon is going to be a bigger display, and it's going to be a bit of a nicer display over the iPad 9. Let's actually talk about the iPad 9 here. So for internet browsing, it is still pretty quick. There are times where it does have hiccups where it just doesn't want to load in, and it takes a few moments longer than it should. But that is pretty much on par for a lot of other tablets and devices anyway. But you can see here, this thing is still actually pretty dang quick. So this is just Best Buy's website, and again you can see it does load in rather well. Going into other apps like OfferUp here is going to load in actually again rather quick. Going into something like Facebook is going to load in again rather quick. So far as speed goes, for the most part, iPad 9 is still a very good and quick device. It just, like I said, there are times where it does have hiccups where it just doesn't load in as fast, or you have to exit from the app, usually on Safari, and go back into it. But again, that isn't often, but does happen from time to time. Now, I know a lot of people will be looking at these for Roblox for their kids, or maybe even themselves. See, here we do have this in Max Graphics, and it is still excellent for that. You can see the focus is there. It is hovering at 60 frames per second. It goes down to 59 from time to time, and it tries to go up above 60 from time to time. But for the most part, it is stuck at 60 frames per second because, well, they're just kind of stuck at 60 frames per second. They cannot actually go above that. But again, it is excellent for Roblox because, again, it's going to hit 60 frames per second, whereas some other more expensive tablets won't even do that. Gonna load into a Pokemon Unite game on here. This is just an offline game, but I just want to show again, this is actually rather quick. So you see our loading bar there. Of course, everybody has to load in because this is in offline mode. But again, the way that take 5 to 10 seconds to load into a match. So you're gonna be loading in faster than a lot of other people will load in. Our frames up there are at 60 frames per second. And again, it's not really gonna go much below that. So now it's not 59. So it's gonna stay very well. Pretty much most games you play on this tablet are going to do very well, and it'll be more than fine for, again, most games. If you're somebody that's going to be doing very high intensity gaming, you over a long period of time, say for a couple of hours or something like that, this is definitely going to get hot, and you're definitely going to probably end up getting a little bit of weirdness with the device. But for regular games, for playing for say half hour to an hour, you shouldn't have any issues with it whatsoever. And I should mention, since I did mention the Amazon Max 11 that I do have right here, this is going to play games better than this will. This will, especially like Roblox, this will play way better than that will. Then let's talk about the speakers real fast. You have two speakers, but for some reason they decided to put them on both on the same side. If you go to the iPad 10, they have two, but they're on both sides. You have one on either side. On here, it does sound decent, and it does get loud. But again, it's on one side, so you kind of get like a weirdness how it's not on the other side. Where a lot of tablets nowadays that have 2 or even 4 speakers will be on either side, or the Amazon where it has them both up here. Again, it's on either side of the tablet though, just on top. And like I briefly mentioned before, Some tablets will have better displays than the iPad 9 or even the iPad 10, like the Amazon Fire Max 11 here. This has a very nice display for a normally around $200 device. You can see like here, the colors, the yellow just popped more. The blues are nicer popping blue. One thing I will say, this does have a bit more yellow hint to it, where this is a bit more white, like the white's a bit more yellowy on here. Kind of looks opposite on camera, but in real life, this does look a bit more yellow, where this does look more white. But for the most part though, the display on the Fire Max 11, in my opinion, is going to be a nicer looking display than what you're going to get on the iPad 9 or even the iPad 10. All in all, the iPad 9 is still an excellent device to buy here at the end of 2024, especially for Black Friday sales at only $200. This is still an excellent device, and it is definitely the device I would recommend for around $200. Of course, you can also now get the new 2024 on tablets from Walmart for around the same price. Those are also excellent. I still think this is better in some ways, but those are also another option around this price. Again, all in all, in my opinion, iPad 9 is still an excellent buy. But again, if you do have the extra $80 to buy the iPad 10, I do think that would be worth it. But you guys let me know what you think, though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.